Hey YouTube, what's going on? Back here again, always on the 67-day challenge, as you know if you've seen my previous videos. And so what I'm going to be talking about today is the difference between a cleaner, a closer, and a cooler. And so I read a book by Tim Grover. I recommend it to anybody who's trying to gain a strong mentality. His book is called Relentless. And so you have to have this relentless mentality. And he gives a lot of specific examples in sports for the main part, but you can use this in any form of life and anything you have to go through, and you have to have tough skin. And so this is what it's all about. And so Tim Grover, he's one of the best. I've mentioned him in previous videos. He's one of the most well-known trainers in the United States, probably one of the best trainers in the United States. He was a trainer of Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, Charles Barkley, and all of these all-star caliber players. Some of them are Hall of Famers. And so he began to recognize individual traits that each one of these people achieved and had and carried with them, these elite athletes, and what made them different from their competition was their mindset. And so he breaks it down into cleaners, closers, and coolers. And so cleaners, they're the people who are never satisfied. They're not sensitive people. They're just tough-minded individuals. And if you tell them to do something, they're going to do it. And if they say they're going to do something, they're going to do it. And so one example of a cleaner attitude is you can see this in Michael Jordan going into the finals. And so Tim Grover is telling about this story of Michael Jordan this was game 6 going to one of the finals game. And what he would do to intimidate the other team is he would go to the other team's locker room and not introduce himself, but talk with the player, probably a veteran player on the other team, and he would go into the locker room, shake his hand, go in there for a minute or two. But as Michael Jordan walked into the team room of the other team, they would all go silent because they knew that he was the assassin. He was walking in, and they would just stare at him. And so that intimidated the players from the moment before the game even started. And so that's a cleaner move. He was setting that fear into the hearts of the other opponents. And so another point that Tim Grover also brings to mind is you have to be in the zone. So these elite athletes, they're able to harness the power of being in the zone. And what he describes as being in the zone is the ability, or you know when you're doing something and you're so focused that no one can even get into your mind. You block out all other disruptions in your mind. So you're in the zone and you can't hear anything else but what you're focusing on, and all your thought is directed towards that. So Michael Jordan, Dwayne Wade, and Kobe Bryant, all three of these had the power of being in the zone. And so when they're in the game, nothing else mattered and nothing else could get in their head except that they're gonna win. And that was the elite mindset. You also have to have this dark side. Everybody has a dark side to them. And so you can see this in businessmen or famous people. Why do they cheat on their wives? Why do they steal money? Why do they launder? Why do they do drugs? It's this thing. Sorry, this guy's coming by on a machine loudness. Wait a second. And so there's this dark side, and so, there's this urge. They obviously know they shouldn't do this morally and ethically, but there's this urge so bad to cheat on their wife because it's something that they can't have, but they want it so bad. And these cleaners, they go after it, these elite mentality people. But it's the ability to harness that feeling when you'll become strong. So if you can control that and let it out sometimes, then you'll be able to control your dark side and then use it for your advantage in your particular strength. So you want to use that for business, or you want to use that for sports. Use your dark side. What is going to fuel your flame, and then use that in the right way. All emotions, Tim Grover says, are weak except anger when it's harnessed. So anger at a point can be bad, but when it's used and directed and channeled, it can be very powerful. So you want to be in the zone. You want to have this dark side. You want to develop the mentality of these cleaners, closers, and coolers. And think about this. This is one thing that I also remember from this book, is that who are you doing this for? Are you doing so in an athletic performance? When you get nervous per se, and you're up to bat, I'm up to bat. why would you worry about anyone else's opinions other than yours? You're doing it for yourself, not for other people. So keep that in mind, that you have to focus on what you're doing and not the views of other people and how that's going to affect you. It's what's going to benefit you in the end that's going to really matter. So 3 things to take away from today is find the way to get in the zone, find and channel your dark side, and then 3rd, who are you doing it for? You're doing it for yourself, so you have to think about what's going to give you the greatest ROI, the greatest return of investment. So I would check out this book by Tim Grover, Develop the Mindset, from going from a cooler to a closer to a cleaner. You want to be a cleaner because those are the people who are never satisfied.